everybody. I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and this is my mom, Ingrid Turner.
Hi.
Hi. Today we are starting our seedlings for our veggie garden. Now, this is how to start your seedlings for your veggie or herb garden. We don't have any fruit today. We have fruit trees and things, but we're not doing that. We have bushes. We're doing some sunflowers, tomatoes, parsley, broccoli, turnip, and beets. Now, we have lots of beans and other things to do as well. However, we're going to do that in another video because those seeds need to soak overnight.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get these, oh, and some dill seeds. Now, I always keep my dill crowns, was that what you call them, from my past season so that we have dill. I cut all my dill down, so we have dill all winter. And then you have this, you can either use the seeds for your cooking or for this purpose in the spring.
Yes, and the thing is that look at how big this is. That means that what the stock we had was very hardy, so it's worth saving them. If they were just puny little things that didn't do too well, we wouldn't be saving them.
Yes, ma'am, but we have like 20 of those.
Yes.
So we're good, we're good. The rest will be used in cooking. I like using dill seeds in cooking.
Yeah, I like just shaking them out.
Yes, ma'am, I like that too. It's beautiful, and cream of mushroom soup.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we're going to use some of this Schultz potting soil. You can use whatever kind you want. This just happens to be what I got at my store the day I went to get potting soil. Now, Mom is going to tell you what we're going to do next.
Well, you know how at the end of the season you throw out your annual plants and they're in pots and planters and things like that? Well, I always save the soil because it's still good soil. And
never throw out your soil.
It's a good mix, obviously, because you buy them like that and they're a good mix.
Yes,
anyway, so what I do is I mix it partly probably 1/3 or maybe half and half of potting soil to the half of the stuff from the plants that we use it. Yeah.
So we're just using a big bucket today, and that's what Mom's talking about. This is the leftover stuff from the plants that you already
I just take the stuff off the top that's nice and soft, and save the stuff at the bottom of the plant. You'll see what looks good.
Or from any plants that died in your house over the winter. You always have that extra soil. Don't ever throw it out.
No.
It's perfect. It's good.
Yeah, if you don't want to do this mixing thing, at least throw that soil into your garden.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so you want me to dump some in here for you?
Yes. Okay. I put it down on the chair because I thought it'd be easier to reach.
I just wanted to show them what was going down in here.
We have these handy little trays.
They're very inexpensive.
Yes.
That looks good.
That looks good.
That's half and half.
I have this little hooky thing. It's great for mixing soil.
I got you. That's a hint.
Actually, if you turn it on its side a little bit, it's easier to do.
I don't know if I should do that because it's kind of messy, and I just cleaned the floors. So I'm not doing that right now. I'd rather use my hands. It's okay. That's what you're supposed to do when you garden. You're supposed to use your hands.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to use my hands.
I think that looks good.
Okay, so we're going to fill this, what, halfway? Or
About
3/4?
Halfway is good. We'll see how that looks. You'll see there are even little pieces of leaves, so that's okay. That's all good stuff. It's all organic.
Organic. There's leaves. There's a little bit of roots here and things, all different sizes and varieties. And you have that perlite from the potting soil.
Yeah, see, there's lots of perlite in there. And that's what you want because it loosens the soil, keeps it nice and fluffy so that your seedlings can root easier.
Now I'm just lightly, just patting it down a little bit so that the soil has some kind of substance.
Yes.
And then you can make holes and put your little seeds in. So that's that. And it's nice and dry. So, well, the potting soil was a little bit moist, so that's perfect.
Yes, and it does come moist, and that's great because you need a little bit of moisture. In fact, if you have a little spray gun, we might even do that. Just spray a little bit of water on there so it holds the seeds better.
Speaking of, let me go get that. Now, I like to go old school, even though they say not to use gloves all the time when you're using soil. I don't really subscribe to that all the time because there are the HSOs that you really need to get, I think anyway, or homeostatic soil organisms that are really important, you know, for your health and stuff. It's important to get out there and get dirty and play around in nature.
Yeah. If you're not sure where your soil has come from, yeah, you should wear gloves. But if you're buying a big thing of potting soil, chances are that you're not going to get bad stuff in it.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway,
okay,
let's do this.
So
now what?
Let's give it a little squirt.
Are we going to separate this, or are we going to, like, are you gonna, so you know what part's what?
Yes.
You probably want to do that before you plant so that you remember what and where you did it. Now I just covered it with just plain water. I have a little spritzer. We use spritzers for all kinds of things around the house. Some have lemon juice, some have vinegar, some have water in them. This one's water.
This is just to keep your rows straight. In fact, you can just put it in the middle because you can tell where it's going to go. And then as I use the, as we planted.
You want to leave this in here?
For now. Yeah.
Okay, you want me to make another one?
Yes. I always cut my packages of seeds from the bottom, because that way you can put them on a stick and it's facing upwards and you can actually read it.
I like that.
If you take the top off, you got them upside down.
You're right.
Just a little thing that bothers me.
I like that idea. That's good. That's a good tip.
Yeah. Now, eventually this stuff
is...
Yeah.
So I'm just separating it into about a third.
Yeah, 3
That's
rows,
about enough
3
to make
rows.
whatever you want, okay?
Yeah. We
See?
can, yes.
Okay.
We
now I'm
can
going to take it out
yeah.
just so that you can actually get at it.
Right.
But then you'll be able to know what's what. And
right.
you can even write on it so you
yeah.
know what's going down.
And in fact, you can probably cut them down a little bit.
Sure.
Even in half.
Would you like me to do that?
And then, you see, I have these things. Now, my vision isn't the greatest, so for me to write a label on this is not functional. So I stick this thing like that, and then I have a little label, and
I
it's
like
on a
it.
stick.
I like
And
it.
we won't get all the seeds mixed up, and we don't know what plants we have coming up. I'm going to make a little furrow. I'm just going to use the end of this. Just make a little furrow down here. We could probably use that thing for a matter of fact.
Want me to do that?
Just right down the middle of here. Yeah, that looks like a great idea.
So just use the same thing you did. A lot of these seeds, they need to go down at least, you know, half an inch. Some are an inch, some are longer. I guess they might be in centimeters wherever you are. But just check the back of your package. It'll always tell you what the guidelines are for that particular plant.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have rows. We have rows for the separators and we have rows for where we're actually going to plant inside.
Also, once you see the seedling coming up, you see a little bit of green. And by the time it gets about ½ an inch high, you could add a little more soil around and watch your plant. So when they get about this high, you should be coming up to about 7/8 of the way with soil.
So as you're going, you want to save some soil.
Yeah, but don't cover the greens up. Like if you have a little green thing coming up, you don't put the soil on top of that. You just
around it?
Yeah, sure.
So
okay,
what's first?
So beets.
Beets?
Yes.
How many are you doing and how far?
Well, I'm going to plant these an inch apart.
Yep, an inch apart it says. Seed spacing, ½ an inch.
Yeah. ½
an inch deep.
Perfect. Take the girl away from the farm, but you can't take the farm away from the girl.
Well, that's right. Mom grew up on a farm out in Niagara on the lake here.
Yes,
so we're just going to cover it up. Just cover up that center hole and where you just planted those seeds. Have them about ½ an inch deep. You'll see on the back of your seed packets. Every plant's different. Pat that down ever so lightly. Put your separators in so you know. So she's just weaving it through the back of the package so that it doesn't come off.
This is what I do. We're not going to put them in right now because we can pretty well remember where things are. But
you can.
Yeah.
You could just leave it there so it's
ready.
ready.
I just don't want to bump it.
There you go.
Yeah. So by the time we're done, we'll have probably three.
So we're going to save this for after we're done all of these.
Yeah.
And then we'll put them in so we know. Turnips. So the beet seeds look like big crunchy balls, kind of, right? They're like
little fluffy things.
Little fluffy things. My hands are dirty. They're like crunchy and they're like uneven on the outside, you know what I mean? These ones are really tiny little seeds. They look like little, almost like poppy seeds, but tiny bit bigger.
Just,
sprinkle in. You're gonna sprinkle it all the way through this trough.
And then if we get a whole bunch of seedlings coming up, you might have to thin them out, and you can just replant them into another flat.
But that's not a bad thing.
No, because then you'll have twice as many that are started.
That's right. This is the benefit. Some of these seeds take 2 months for full germination.
Some seeds do, yeah.
So that last one, the beets, that's up to 60 days germination. So you're getting a head start in the spring, getting these in the soil, these in some soil, giving them some nice little weather inside your house, some babysitting, some nice moisture, and you'll be good to go. Okay, we're gonna save the rest of those. Same thing with the sign.
Yeah.
Same thing with the sign.
Yep, same thing with the sign. I'm going to put these labels here just so I don't get things mixed up later.
Okay, I'm going to cover this holes up again, this trough.
Great. I think that we will put the broccoli in the same flat
As the turnip.
Yeah, because they're sort of similar plants. And,
Well, sort of.
Yeah,
Yes.
sort of.
Another separator in between these rows. We already have our little trough made.
It goes easier when you have 2 people doing it.
Yes, ma'am. That's why we do it this way.
Okay, yeah. Now these seeds look just like the last seeds we planted for the turnips. Yeah. So
Pour them in here so we can see how many we have. We can evenly distribute them. There's not nearly as many here. They're little tiny poppy seeds too. That's what they look like.
when you think those little tiny seeds, you pay a lot of money for a few little seeds.
And we haven't grown broccoli.
You know, when Dad was alive, we did plant broccoli.
Really?
But, you know, I haven't been planting as much stuff, like a variety, since he wasn't here, because it's so hard to do all the gardening.
It's a lot of work,
now
man.
I've got you to help me.
I mean, it's hard. It's not easy. Gardening isn't easy, but the rewards are
the
great.
thrill of watching your seeds germinate and you see those little tiny plants peeking through, and it's hard to believe that they're coming out of this dirt. It's just amazing.
See, that's not the reward for me. The reward for me is when I go out there in the morning and I want a tomato sandwich, and I go out there and I have my choice of big giant red orbs in my garden hanging off all my plants. And it makes me so happy because I know that that stuff is completely organic and I did it myself, and they're gonna be tasty. There we go.
Okay,
so
we're
now
gonna squirt these.
we're gonna squirt these again. So get your sign ready and we're gonna stick them in here. You just wanna moisten the soil. You don't wanna soak it.
Turn it there.
If you soak the soil, you have a chance of everything rotting in here. You know, molding, don't want that. So we're gonna stick these guys in so we know what's up. Anyway, you're gonna put your signs in, and that's that. Now, you wanna make sure that you're not overwatering. When the soil feels slightly dry is when you wanna squirt this bad boy again, okay? So we're gonna repeat with some other plants here.
And I would not put a lot of fertilizer on anything until your seedlings have come up at least an inch. Then you could do a very diluted mixture of Miracle-Gro and water, like more than what they say you should use. I would do it half and half, because you don't want to attack those little seedlings. They're very tender and they're very pernickety. They just might
Persnickety?
fall over and die.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't give them too much fertilizer until they're much bigger.
Okay, we're gonna repeat this with another couple more trays and a couple more things, and then we're gonna talk to you about what we're gonna do with them now. Off to the side.
Parsley, we're gonna do the dill, and I think we're gonna do the sunflower seeds.
Awesome. I love sunflower seeds. Pretty much whatever we plant is food-based.
Yes.
Either it's a flower that is edible that you can also eat, or nasturtiums or pansies, other flowers and things that you can eat, like hollyhocks and other herbs. You know,
you've never seen anything as pretty as a nasturtium salad.
You know what? Nasturtiums are so high producing. They produce so many leaves and so many of those little buds and so many flowers, and everything on the whole entire plant, the leaves, the flowers, the buds, even the stems and everything, they're all edible.
And they are delicious. They taste so good.
And there's so many different colors. They're so vibrant, so pretty in your garden, and they really do a great job at ground covering and keeping the weeds out.
And they make a beautiful border and you know, you have one little plant and it gets like this and it's so pretty. Every day you have new flowers on it.
Yes,
they
ma'am.
just keep producing until frost.
And I can, yes, and I can harvest and harvest and harvest, and they just keep coming back for more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, try and organize your garden so that it's productive for you, so that you can actually eat the things that come out of it. It doesn't just look pretty and break your back from all
So,
the same exact principles. I'm going to make a couple of these. We're gonna break it up into three rows. Okay, so we're ready again. We made 3 rows. I made 3 troughs, and in goes our little dills.
Our pretty little dills.
And the thing is, too, don't forget, there's lots of fruits and vegetables that you purchase at the grocery store that you can harvest the seeds from and grow yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to keep buying all that stuff all the time, guys. You can grow your own.
In fact, you could grow these all winter long in the house because dill comes up very good. So next, I think we'll go with the sunflower seeds.
Okay. Now they have to be separated by how much? An inch or so at least, I would say?
Yeah, just
seed spacing. 6 inches it says.
Yeah, that's if you're doing it in the garden.
Exactly, but we're just doing seedlings.
We're just starting the plants. So you see, once they come through and we know that they have a really good root system, we'll take them out of this, and if it's close to the 24th of May, we'll plant them out into the garden. If it's not, we'll just put them into, look at this, something about like that, so that each one gets its own
individual
little
attention. Okay,
yeah.
That's our second row. These are really super tiny. Try and keep them all in the same row. Now, you can never run out of parsley. I mean, don't ever run out of parsley. Okay, so we have a couple more that we're gonna do, but we don't need to show you all of this. It's all the same thing, rinse and repeat. That's our dill. We need to make a sign up. And now what? Now we have an area that's nice and sunny. It gets most of the morning and some of the afternoon. And that's where it's gonna go. We're not actually gonna put the lid on. We would have put the lids on. We have these clear lids like these. If we were doing it in the dead of winter. Yes. You don't want them to get too cold. It's achieving the same thing as a greenhouse. So the key here is to be organized. Make sure you have them separated and identified so you know what's going down. That's really, it's not hard.
And try things that you would have never tried before, because this is a chance to do that. And if it doesn't work for you the first time, big deal. You still have time.
You lost out on 79 cents.
Yeah.
No big deal, right?
Try it. At least try it, but you know, you have to be diligent. You must keep them moist. You can't just let them dry out for a week and then think, oh gosh, these are no good.
But don't overwater either. You start to see mold starting on the top.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's a problem. It's a big problem. You're gonna have root rot, and everything's just gonna die on you. You're gonna be upset. Anyhow, that's it. That's all. That's how you start your seedlings for your veggie or herb garden. And we'll probably show you a whole separate video on how to do beans, because beans are done differently.
Yes.
We like to plant lots of beans. So make sure you check out that video, how to start your beans, like for your garden.
And there again, we have so many varieties.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
It's going to be probably one whole show for beans.
Exciting. Anyhow, that's it. That's all. Make sure you check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it. That's all. Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye. Get outside this summer. Get outside.
It's a beautiful day.
Yes, ma'am.